Hi guys, welcome back to La Lucha is Real podcast. I am your host, Angel.
And I'm Edith.
And we're back at it again. We're in the same shit, so don't say anything. We're a pre-recorded episode just to let you guys know.
Yes. And if you tuned in last week, you will know that we left off at some Chisme. And we are just going to pick right back up.
Yeah.
Like, no fucking small talk, no nothing. We're just going to get right back into it.
We're getting into the fucking tea, so put your seatbelt on and
get your snacks, get your beverages.
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay. It's a novel, so stay with me.
Okay.
Guys.
We'll try.
We always ask for details, and this person did not hold back.
Said, I'm giving you all the details.
Okay. All right,
APA
guys.
style.
Yeah.
Put on references and everything.
Hi, I freaking love listening to y'all.
Aww.
And I love y'all. Con licencia de Dios. I want to get to actually meet y'all cuando vaya para Vegas. But saludos from Clayton, North Carolina.
What?
What?
We have a North Carolina listener.
I know.
I've never heard of Clayton, but it's okay.
I've heard of Clayton.
I have not heard of Clayton, but North Carolina.
You've heard of that one?
Yeah.
That one sounded a little...
that one's right here.
Okay. Anyways, not really chisme, but I wanted to get y'all's perspective. Am I in the wrong for telling my fiance and kind of giving him an ultimatum concerning our future? We about to find out. Backstory to it. We just got our first apartment together. He unfortunately got in a motorcycle accident and is out of work for about 6 weeks. So, more backstory. When we started dating, I already had one fur baby, a dog. And about a month of us dating, which we've now been together for almost 2 years in October, I got my second fur baby. Now that he's home more, I go to work 4 days out of the week from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. and I'm home the other 3. He's been having a hard time with my fur babies because they'll accidentally brush past his legs, which is where he has road rash from the accident and is still healing. He also has a broken toe, so he's been waddling with his boot. LOL. But my dogs will accidentally sometimes step on him, so I get it's frustrating and painful. We got into a bad argument because one of my fur babies unfortunately got sick and pooped in his cage while I was at work and he was home. Also, more backstory. A lot of backstory. The day the argument happened, he got woken up by my fur baby 3 times throughout the night because he had the runs. So he'd scratch at his cage door to let us know of his urgent need. And I never woke up because I was out asleep. But while I was at work on break and FaceTimed him was when we argued because he lost his shit, saying he was done and couldn't keep putting up with my dog's shit. They're also really strong, big dogs. So it makes it hard for him to take them out sometimes when they're really impatient and want to run down the apartment stairs. Anyways, I got hurt because he said he didn't want anything to do with my dogs anymore and would prefer if I took them over to my parents' house before I go to work so he doesn't have to deal with them. I felt hurt because when I moved out with him, he knew my dogs were coming with me and he still accepted me with my handful of fur babies. He told me he loved them too in the past, but I took those words from his anger seriously and I gave him the option of, okay, I take my dogs to my parents and you don't have to deal with them because after all, they are my dogs. But if my home can't be a home for them as well, when I'll leave once the lease is over and each go their own way, or he fucking learns a way to be more fucking patient because bruh, I swear, I get it. Dogs are like literal human children. Sometimes crazier because they don't just stop whenever they're super energetic. But they're also like more chill because they're dogs. I don't know if that makes sense. Girl, that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
But I gave him the ultimatum of you either learn to be more patient and accept and learn to love them too for who and how they are because they are my dogs and I'm not willing to ever leave them behind because they're my babies, or live like roomies. I care for my dogs on my own and ask my family for help while I'm at work once the lease is over, to each their own. Am I in the wrong for going about it this way?
This is my thing. I feel like dogs can be very important to people's life, like children, you know.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't like seeing it that way, but that's you yourself, you know. But like, I feel like dogs are literally like people's children, and they
Mm-hmm.
have a strong connection. So I feel like that person not accepting your dogs, or not as it's like not accepting a part of you.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's like a deal breaker, if that's your non-negotiable because your dogs are a part of you, then it's a non-negotiable. Then you part your ways, because you also don't want to be with the person that's gonna fucking hate them
Mm-hmm.
and not like them and maybe mistreat them, because you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know, de por sí ya les tiene odio, ya les
Yeah,
quién
yeah,
sabe
yeah.
lo que pasará when you're not looking. And that makes me nervous.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. If it's a non-negotiable and your dogs are literally like basically your kids and they're
Yeah.
part of you, I'll be like, you know what, you made a choice. But then again, he's in a very vulnerable state too, because I feel like what he had the accident, he's hurt, and he's out of his job. So it's also like I feel like he's overwhelmed as well
Yeah.
of not being able to do his normal things, because now he has to be at home. And I think he's maybe taking it out on the dogs, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
So I guess what I want to know is I want to know if the whole taking them to your parents' house, um, did he ever mention if it was going to be like a temporary thing while he's healing? Because I'm not going to lie, like, so I deal with a lot of like car accidents and stuff like this, because
Yeah.
I work I work for a personal injury attorney. So I deal with and like some of this shit is like fucking serious.
Yeah.
And like honestly, I feel like in a way I was so desensitized to like how it actually feels to what it's like, you know, because I see like the technical side of dealing with a car accident or motorcycle accident or whatever, but being in a car accident myself, like I fucking feel it. Like it's rough. And even when I was incapacitated, like when I broke my ankle when I was in, what was it, like junior year of high school,
Yeah.
when I broke my ankle and I basically was like out of commission for like I don't even know how many weeks, like you get in a bad mental state because you like and I'm sure like as a man he probably already feels like shit because he probably feels like a burden. Like I know I for sure felt like a
There we
burden to
go.
my mom when because she had to take time off of work to take care of me.
Yeah.
And I was so frustrated because it's like you forget like how ungrateful you've been that you have two legs, you know, and that you this and this and that. So like what I want to know is, was this going to be a temporary fix while he's healing? Because I'm not gonna lie, amiga. Like, I honestly completely understand where he's coming from if it was supposed to be a temporary thing because, like you said, they're your babies, right? If they were an actual baby, would you have left him to take care of them?
Yeah.
Would you have still, like, knowing that he has a broken toe and road rash and whatever? Like, I feel like maybe even if they were like your actual kids, like you'd probably be like, you know what, like he's healing, he can't take care of them, like you might have to drop him off to grandparents' house.
Yeah.
You know, like I think that's maybe something I would have done too. Like, hey, like I can't be bending over cleaning their shit, like, you know. Don't get me wrong, like I have two fur babies, and one of them I'm a little more attached to than the other, and I 100% understand what you mean by like they're like children, right? But they're also not like children because they're still dogs, you know, like they can take care of themselves to a degree, like, you know, like you don't have to cook for them. Yeah, to a point. But I understand where his like where he could be frustrated, and I honestly, I'm not saying you're wrong for giving the ultimatum because, like, if that's your deal breaker, that's your fucking deal breaker.
It's
like,
your
if that's not,
non-negotiable.
yeah, it's your non-negotiable. And if that's how you feel, that's how you fucking feel, and like stand by that. But I also like kind of understand where he's coming from. Now, if he wanted to make that like a permanent thing, then
that's true. They didn't say if it was permanent or not
yeah,
permanent, right?
I don't think she mentioned if it was like a permanent thing because
I took it as permanent for like when you were reading. I took it as permanent, so I was like, oh.
I feel like I didn't take it as a permanent thing because I understand like him being in an accident and they're like stepping on his foot and rubbing on his leg.
No, I took it as permanent because she said maybe because I just put myself in my perspective, and maybe that's in that perspective.
Yeah.
And it came to the point where you're deciding to even leave the relationship, you know, or leave that.
Yeah,
That's why
true.
I saw it as permanent.
Yeah.
Not because being hurt and having to deal with all that. Yeah, yeah, that's the whole thing in itself. But I took it as permanent because she's
already thinking about that.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, if it's a fucking permanent thing, then absolutely. If that's your deal breaker, that's your deal breaker.
Yeah.
But if it's like a temporary thing, I don't know. Figure out if it's like something you're willing to do, you know, if you care enough about this relationship. And because are they engaged now? Did you say?
No, I didn't. I don't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah, just it makes a difference if if he said he wanted a permanent thing, he didn't want it, or it was temporary.
Yeah.
And then keep in mind, like, I just feel like his mental also is probably
Yeah. Yeah.
low.
Yeah. He's probably in a bad place mentally, because I sure as fuck was when I was going through my healing process. So there's that too.
Yeah.
So I would keep that in mind. But again, it's up to you. Like, you can always do whatever it is that you want to do and what you think is best for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on to the next one. That was a mouthful.
Yeah. For sure, girlie.
Okay. You got a little baby one.
A little baby one?
A little small one.
Ooh, we love babies. All right, y'all. I'm still catching up on up from your episodes. Y hoy apenas voy en episode 59 con Saul. Tell me why one of my exes did that shit of chasing till we started dating, and then he completely switched and just didn't have time for me. Bullshit. That's why I dumped his ass after 3 months, a 3-month free trial.
God damn.
Oh, the thing where I think we were talking about how, like, sometimes it's like the chasing. It's like what is exhilarating.
Yeah. And then once they actually get them,
Yeah.
they're kind of like...
I think he mentioned something like that, right?
Yeah. I think maybe that's what she's talking
Yeah,
about.
that he was like more into the chase and actually having. Well, I don't know. Yeah, he obviously said he didn't have time for you. So a relationship needs time.
Yeah.
Some sort of time if they're willing
like
to
you
make
guys
it
need
work.
to, any relationship, you need to nurture it.
Yeah,
Like,
so you took your 3-month trial and you said, no, thank you. I will not be renewing this subscription.
yes, girl, stand by that.
Yes.
All right, next one.
And you still have a lot to catch up. Y'all episode 59.
Dude,
This
let's
is
talk
episode
91. Let's talk about how our 100 episodes is coming up, Edith.
Damn, I feel like you're ambushing me. But stay tuned for that. We're gonna put a little something, maybe.
Yeah.
See what we
Stay tuned
do.
for that, because actually we need to talk. We need to discuss what the fuck. We need a plan, Edith. Okay, next one. Hey girls, is it reasonable to hate your best friend's ex even though they don't hate each other and are friends? Wait,
Yeah.
I think did we read that one already?
I don't know, but it sounds just like a conversation we've had.
Yeah.
I don't know if we read it.
Sorry guys, I feel like maybe we read something a little out of order before.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you guys think? Is it reasonable to hate
Yes.
your best friend's ex even though they don't hate each
Yep.
other
Been in that situation.
and they're friends?
Yeah, and then they go back to them too. Oh, don't you just love that? Hate is a strong word, but I definitely strongly disliked certain friends'
Hating
exes.
your best friend's ex. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Been in that situation. Can't do shit about it.
I'm glad you didn't get back with your ex, though.
Oh, I'm so fucking happy.
Or that you're friends with them.
Ew. Never. None of them.
It also kind of puts you like, it's a weird situation. Like,
Yeah.
you hate your best friend's ex, but
Especially
they're
when
still
you know-
friends.
Yeah.
And like, you know what ended up fucking going down.
Because there's a reason why you dislike them. Because obviously, like, something went down that
Yeah.
you felt like your best friend was disrespected in a way, you know? Mm-hmm. And your best friend maybe is learned to, like, I don't know, maybe she forgave and forgot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
And this is why sometimes, okay, not to say you can't speak about your relationship or marital issues, right? But Me personally, I intentionally choose not to speak about if I'm having issues with that. Not that we have issues, but like I don't speak about my problems or my issues with family or friends because they are biased.
Yeah, for sure.
100% biased. Like if I decide to tell Edith, Edith is most likely going to choose my side. And I feel like, like there's alliances there. Like I feel like people are very biased and they'll like, and here's the thing. And the reason why I'm very careful about it, and like if I have any like marital issues, I will speak to a professional about it because it's very unbiased and they can give me an objective view on the situation, right? I also make it very good practice not to go to people who can't help me because for one, my best friend is not married. My mom's a single mother. My sister is in a relationship, but she's not married.
It's different.
It's very different. So I can't go to any of them with my marital issues because they can't give me advice that's going to help me.
Yeah, it's gonna be different. It's gonna be like advice coming, for example, for me, from a girl who's been single for a while. It's not gonna be the advice you actually need, and it's gonna be biased as fuck.
Yeah. So. And if I go to my mom will be knowing that I'm in the wrong. My mom will stand by me. And not only that, but like she's divorced. I don't know.
And she's a very independent, like
she's a
woman can do it herself, independent to the max.
So yeah, I can't go to her because and
it's
then my sister never been married. She's in a relationship,
but it's different.
It's different. And she also has a son, so like there's that. I don't know if that affects anything. Yeah. I feel like in her mind, maybe like she's always gonna put her son first.
Yeah.
I'm not a mom. I don't know. I can't.
Definitely.
So where the fuck was I going with this?
There's just certain things you could talk to people about, especially that they're close to you, about relationships you have. Especially like, let's say if it's let's put this in example, okay? You're planning to still stay with Val, right? I'm just putting a hypothetical, but he did something like to fuck up or something like that. If you mention that to me, I'm gonna fucking automatically be like, what the fuck? But in your mind, you already know you're gonna stay with him. So you already told me that information, and that makes it so fucking awkward because I know maybe how hypothetically he like disrespected you and you still stayed for them. And so it makes a hatred between us, and it's uncomfortable knowing that you guys might are still have some sort of relationship together.
Yeah.
And it's, you guys are okay. Yeah. You guys are okay. Yeah. You told me this information. Now I hate him.
And not only that, but also we all have all our non-negotiables are different. There's stuff that maybe I'm willing to forgive, but Edith isn't.
Yeah.
And if I tell her like, hey, this is what's going on, blah, 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 blah.
He ate my fucking ice cream.
And for me, it's like, for me, like I'm willing to forgive him, but for Edith, it's a non-negotiable.
Yeah, don't fucking eat my ice cream. We're breaking up. There we go.
Yeah. So of course, I don't know. So anyways, just be intentional with like. I feel like this wasn't even the fucking question. I just went off on a whole tangent. I really did just go off on a whole tangent, but it's because I feel like people need to be intentional with who they're sharing their shit with, like their relationship problems with, their marital problems, their like stuff, because it's like people for one are going to be biased. And then
if you're seeking an opinion,
of course. Yeah. And then like, not only that, because like, it's just also, I don't know. I feel like if you were to come to me with like anything like, oh my God, like even if you just want to vent, I feel I'm going to be like, oh hell no, that bitch did what to you? Yeah. She said what?
We don't like her already.
I don't like her for you. And then you decide like, you know what? Like I understand. You're going to forgive them and you guys are still going to be friends or whatever. I'm going to be like, it's going to be uncomfortable whenever you have like a get together because you're inviting the friend that I now don't like because she did that to you.
Yeah. So you just got, like you said.
I know that wasn't the question, but I made it about that.
Yeah. It's just, you could put it in any like relationship kind of that you have, you know? You just gotta be, how you said, intentional of what you tell people, especially if you're seeking opinion or if it could create like a
attention with your relationships. But also, back to the original question, I think it is reasonable that you hate your best friend's ex. It's very reasonable.
Done it a couple. Yep, been there, done that.
Yeah,
a couple times.
Okay. Next one.
Hey, shawty, it's your birthday.
Here we go.
We're gonna party like it's your birthday. Anyways, I started dating this guy who's 13 years older than me. Okay. He checked every square for me, every box. Checked every box.
I think that's what they meant.
But when we finally got to the down and dirty, he was more than I could handle. Oh, girl. This guy wanted me to finger him while I was giving him oral. I think he meant moaned. He moaned so loudly that I couldn't resist the laugh. Oh no. But now every time he wants me to finger him. He recently asked me if I had any toys like dildos and vibrators we can play with. I'm not sure if he wants them for him or for me. Hey, you know what? Everybody got their sexual pleasures. You know, probably somebody that's a lot, based on the age gap, somebody that's a lot more experienced and that has tried a lot more things. And it puts you in a weird situation because you're, you know, is it a deal breaker? Is it a deal breaker? You really have to ask yourself, is that a deal breaker? Because what if that's the way that they get ultimate pleasure? And
well, they just say that, you know,
yeah, the male and G-spot is in the asshole. But I
like how you literally pointed up.
I gotta depict it, huh?
You're
why you gotta be like this?
Why you gotta act it out? You're like
for our YouTube viewers, they gotta see.
I'm fucking dead.
I mean, if it's like, if you feel really uncomfortable and it's not something you're willing to do, then, you know. But he checks all the boxes.
He checks all the boxes, yeah.
He checks all the boxes. Like, I don't know.
What would you do, Edith?
He checks all the boxes. Like, what's stopping you from, like...
He checks all the boxes, and then he has, you know, something that's a little bit more different than what you're used to.
That's an interesting situation. I guess I want to say you can't knock till you try.
But like ultimately, it's nothing that's being done to you.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's something that you're doing to them. Yeah. But I guess,
and it's for their sexual pleasure. Like if that's pleasing your person, I don't know. It's because he checks all the boxes, amiga. Like, does it really bother you that much? Like, if it bothers you that much, then maybe...
Then it's a no.
Yeah, it's a no. You don't also force yourself to do something you don't want, you know?
Yeah.
But if it's something you can be like, let me try and see. Or you can even talk to him like, that low-key makes me uncomfy. And then maybe you guys could have a conversation about it, because it's sex at the end of the day. It's very, you know,
it's two ways.
Yeah. Literally.
You said literally. Oh my god, you guys, my side. Oh, my side.
I would say have a conversation with them. Like, if you really like see something long term with them and everything like that, and it's making you uncomfy, have a conversation with them. See how you could kind of like still pleasure each other, and maybe not have to, maybe do something you don't want. So
they can meet in the middle.
Yeah, he just wants to finger up his thing, but maybe she's scared because that's gonna lead to something else.
You think so?
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Maybe she's, like, it just makes her uncomfortable. So, I definitely would say have a conversation. Have a conversation.
Yeah.
And, like, be complete. Like, I know, and then she was also said about the moaning loudly.
Low-key, though? Okay.
I mean...
Did he even point that? Did he say anything about you laughing, or did he notice?
Or he just kind of...
Like, kept going. He was like, you know what?
I don't give a fuck. I'm
He was like, no shame in my game.
Yeah. Just have a conversation with this man, bro.
Yeah. I don't know, because he, like, checked all the boxes. Like,
what would you do?
I've answered this question.
She has.
I've definitely answered this. I feel like when it comes, I don't know, if it makes Val feel good, you know?
Like I said, everybody has different things, and it's like, what if that's the thing that takes him to the max pleasure? So it's up to you if that's something you definitely don't want to do, or you're kind of like, you know what, I kind of want to pleasure him. Like, even if it's, I don't know, you might find it weird at that time. You just, maybe it's just the first time you got to get over with it, and then you'll be good after, you know? But if it really, really, really is like bothering you and you're like, hell no, talk to him.
Yeah.
Talk to him.
Okay. This is going to be our last one. Damn, I thought we had more Chisme. Guys, submit your Chisme.
Submit your Chisme, guys.
If you're on YouTube, there's a link down below. Or you can go to our bio on Instagram and click on the link and submit your... Tell us your stories. Tell us anything. Okay. Last one. I just want to say I lost it at Ass Juice. At the episode of you guys talking about working out. That was a great episode.
Fucking ass juice, bro. I forgot we said ass juice.
You know, everybody experiences ass juice when they're working out.
Some people like to say it, some people don't.
Some people get more than others,
yeah,
you know?
That's true. I'm not... You know, some people are more, ¿cómo se dice? When people sweat a lot, they have hypohidrosis.
Girl, don't ask me.
Don't quote me on that. Hypohidrosis, when people sweat a lot. So there's people that literally, like, it's all, like, you know, very...
They're, like, dripping.
Yeah, they're dripping. And you kind of see it sometimes at the gym, but it's, like, whatever. It's normal. People sweat from everywhere, you know?
Though that one did take me by surprise. I was like, what the fuck?
Like, what the fuck is happening to me?
Okay, let's take a quick break and then we'll be right back. And we're back. Back at it again.
Y'all, I'm a little hungry. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Me too. My stomach's making like weird sounds right now.
Bruh. I saw fucking que yo me paso like in el TikTok or Reels. Somehow I always end up in the fucking foodie pages, bro.
Oh my god, the amount of stuff that I've saved, like recipes and stuff.
Exactly.
Ask me if I've made any of them though.
None. Me either, girl.
But they're in my saves.
There's this restaurant I want to try here that they just opened not too long ago here in Vegas.
What kind
of? A ver cuando vamos. Like a little cafe. Oh yeah. Like bakeries thing. And it looked good. The person said it was really good, and they were trying it. And they were, you know how they do. I'm like, damn, they're hella enjoying it. I need to.
I don't know. Okay, how do you feel about like all these like foodie pages and like reels, TikToks, whatever, about these foodies who go out to eat and you just hear nothing but good, like positive reviews on all their stuff?
Just positive?
Because, okay, Edith, the amount of times, and Val is like a fucking testament to Val fucking, like...
Val don't trust us with food. Yeah. That's all we can say.
Val does not trust us with food because we'll be like, oh my god, we saw this on TikTok. Like, let's go check it out whenever we go anywhere.
Yes.
And then it's not.
In specific California.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. In specific there.
Yeah. And then it's like not it. Like, honestly, I feel like the person who posted it kind of like overhyped it. Like, and a lot of times it's so mid.
Yes. Like, whenever we like, because we do that. We're like, we'll be on road trips and then we'll go through TikTok and then try to find a place. And then we end up there and it's like Val's so disappointed at us.
Yeah.
He's just giving us the look like, what the fuck, guys?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't know. I said it was good on TikTok.
I know. And like,
I said it was good.
Yes. And then like, don't get me wrong. Like, some of these places, aesthetically pleasing, beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's a great experience because they're doing something new, something different.
It's Instagram worthy, so you could take pictures.
Yeah.
And it's so cute.
But then the food is beyond average, guys. Like, maybe even below
It's
average.
super mid.
Yeah. And it's just, and sometimes I'm like, hold on, but that person said it was so good. So sometimes, like, dude, I start to question these fucking people. Like,
Yeah, they go on my do not fucking listen again too. Like, do not follow, trust their kind of reviews.
I don't know.
And
But also, I think, like, maybe do you think that, like, they're only talking about, like, what was good? Like, obviously, if they don't like something, like, para no darle, like, a negative,
I think
like,
so.
negative review. Like, just so that, like, people don't instantly, like, turn off from those
Yeah.
that restaurant or whatever. Like, because honestly, I feel like, especially nowadays, excuse me, social media can, like, make or break a business.
Yeah. So
And
you giving a negative review could really be
Like-
detrimental.
yeah.
So I feel like they do stick more to like, oh, what's actually good at the restaurant instead of like saying like, oh, this was. There's very few people that I've seen on Instagram and TikTok be like, oh, this one is not that great. But even then, they'll be like, it's not that good. Like you could pass. Like Heath Lee, he's one of the ones that'll be like, oh, he has a point system. Have you seen? You watched him before, right?
I think I've seen a few things.
Yeah, he has a point system. So he'll well, from what I've seen, I don't like religiously see him. He'll be like, oh, this is like a 6.6 out of 10. Like I would pass on this personally. But then again, everybody has different taste buds. So that's another thing to look out for. Like, who are you watching that? Or do they have the same taste buds?
Yeah, that's
Like,
true too.
I'm saying, like,
Because
I
if
don't
I
know.
see somebody who don't even eat spicy food, I'm like,
No.
I don't know if I could trust you because I love me some spiciness.
Yeah, exactly. If you tell me the guacamole is spicy, I can't. I can't. You get me? Like, I'm just like, I
or
need
somebody who tells you that pepperoni is spicy.
Yeah, or that ketchup is spicy. Like, I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. I can't because we obviously have different taste buds. There's a lot of people that don't like different spices in their food.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm very into like I love like bold flavors and a lot of flavors in my food. Obviously, in the Mexican culture, that's what we eat. You know? So we're more used to it. But there's other people that are not that used to it that might give it a whatever review when it could be like hella bum, or vice versa, where we've ended up at interesting spots and they're like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever, and the food is no flavor. So
Yeah.
I think it's a trial and error when it comes to like foodie pages and stuff. Like, I'd say, mira, try one thing and see how they hit with that recommendation. If they didn't hit, put them in the obviously we don't have the same taste buds.
Yeah.
Like, do not follow their recommendations because
because like sometimes you see these videos and like they'll order like a shit ton of things, and then like a lot of times you'll even see like, oh my god, this was good, this and then I'm like, you mean to tell me
everything was good?
Everything was good? Like, that's crazy to me.
Like, there's not one thing you said that, oh, this is not great, like, or this is not for me. You gotta be careful with those kind of foodies, you know?
Yeah. Because a lot of times, like, I feel like if you're just, like, always, like, because they're kind of, like, it kind of reminds me of, like, Michaela from...
The makeup?
Yeah. Because, like, people constantly talk about how, like, she just loves every product. And it's, like... A lot of people say that obviously like she's just promoting it because they're paying her to do it. I'm not trying to like say anything negative about her, but I'm just like that's how I'm trying to compare it is like I feel like there's certain people who like I don't know if they're paid or not, but like you just happen to love everything. Like I don't know.
That's why you gotta be careful with certain reviews. Like if you find somebody like a recommendation, you know, I would go to their page and see what kind of reviews they've been giving other stuff, you know. And if everything is like, oh my god, I love this, it's the best thing in the world, I'm gonna be like, really?
Yeah.
Like there's not one thing that was like, I would pass on this, guys, or something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
but also like I tried to think like maybe they're just not trying to like
give bad promotion.
Yeah, give bad, like maybe they're not into giving bad promotion. I don't know.
But I feel like there's a certain way you could put it. Yeah. That way that you know, like for example, like if I had like these kind of chicken wings or whatever, and there's a lot of flavors I don't like, but I think a lot of people find them like really good. So I'd be like, you know what, this is just not for me, guys. Like the taste, like I'm not really into just put an example, the sweet and spicy. So that's not my cup of tea. I wouldn't go for it personally, just because I don't like sweet and spicy. Like I would put little elements of like why I don't like it.
Yeah, Probably you could even word it like, oh, I don't really like to combine sweet and spicy, but if that's your thing, for sure try these out.
Yeah, try them out. But I wouldn't like, so that way you're not putting out negativity and maybe like causing harm to somebody's business.
More about maybe you're making it more about you than you are the actual restaurant.
Yeah, but you guys still gotta be careful because there's a lot. I feel like there's a lot of foodies also that like they pay them and they pay for their reviews and they might make up some stuff. Because honestly, you're not gonna tell me that I ran to all these places. I went to like so many places from TikTok and some of them were like fucking
ass
mid. Yes. I won't say which ones because like I just don't, somebody else might like them.
Yeah.
It wasn't my cup of tea.
It was worse than the ass juice, guys.
It was just not my cup of tea, and also like it lost our reputation with Val. So
I know
he'll never trust us.
Yeah, Val doesn't trust us because he'll be like, "What the fuck?"
Except for the last place, I think we kind of a little bit. Was it us or was it him that found it?
Wait, which one?
The Marisco place.
Oh, the Marisco spot that we went to for breakfast?
Yeah.
No, he just happened to look it up and then he's like, oh, let's go here. That was not us, girl.
Damn
so
it.
We're still in the negative.
So yeah, so just be careful, guys, because I don't know.
Hey, some of these places though, like very like picture, what's the word? Like
super Instagram worthy.
Yeah, super Instagram worthy and all this. But you know what? Like, I don't know. It's not it.
Sometimes it's those Hola ones, the ones that look all janky and stuff. Like, give me those kind of reviews. I want to find those places.
Guys, and if you have any places that you are just like, you will die on that hill, and that's how good it is, comment down below. I'm trying to know. Tell us where and what the name of the place is.
Yeah, you never know. We might end up somewhere there and try that place out and see if we could trust you on your...
And your taste buds.
Yes. So, vamos a ver. But.
Okay. Anyways, girl, I'm getting real hungry, so let's cut this short. Sorry, guys. We'll have to make this up to you. But your girl's hungry. It's a little pre-recorded, but we should be back to your regular scheduled programming next week.
So if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to comment, like, subscribe. It helps us out a lot, guys.
Yeah, don't forget to comment, though. I really want to know, like, what's the best place to eat wherever you're at.
Yeah. If you're listening to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, make sure to leave a 5-star review. Anything less,
hit the DMs and we'll talk about it.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, if you want more content, you already know, go to Patreon.
Yes.
So.
And don't forget, guys, submit your Chisme. We want to know all your stories. Mm-hmm. And if you're on YouTube, there's a link down below. And if you're on Instagram, go to our bio. And there's going to be a link in there.
Yeah. Dejen el chisme. Nos queremos saber.
Anyways. I love how we say anyways at the same time. Que Dios los bendiga.
Besitos.
Bye, guys.
Bye.